Hello, and welcome to another update video on Ethereum. So Ethereum has reached the 50% retracement level at $2,620. We have seen the bounce we wanted to see from that area, from that level. And the market could indeed be on its way to the next resistance area. Some people have asked, some of you have asked, could it be that we break out directly? Folks, slow down. Let's first see if we can reach the resistance area after many, many weeks of weakness. I know that I said the third wave to the downside looks technically complete. So let's first see if we can get a fourth wave bounce. Anything more bullish, anything more meaningful is, of course, possible, but the bulls would need to prove it. Yeah, we need some structure first. We need some evidence first of it. Yeah. Because with only a small bounce, I mean, the first focus will be on resistance and whether the bulls can actually take the price to the upper boundary line of the trend channel, which, to be honest, is coming in at the moment around 3,650, which is broadly where the resistance is. But obviously, this would only apply if we went up in a straight line, which can happen. But I'd say it's probably going to be like this anyway. And then we might reach this area when we reach the resistance and trend line will basically both provide resistance. That's going to be my idea. And then, I mean, if there is a rejection, fifth wave down, maybe one more fib down, maybe to 2,250, maybe. However, if the move up is going to be more than that, I mean, either above resistance or we see a structure that looks more like this, then we call that an impulse, or it could also be a leading diagonal pattern. That would mean that we can expect the higher low to hold in the next pullback, and then this means a low has already formed as per the orange scenario. That is, of course, possible after such a correction. The price was oversold, but it doesn't look very much. I mean, the downside structure, it just doesn't look complete yet. Yeah, it can be complete, but structurally, it would look best with another low. I'm just talking to you about, ideal structures. The price doesn't always follow the most probable scenario. Sometimes the price decides to follow the second most likely scenario, which would mean the low might already be in. Now, don't think this is an unlikely alternative. It is the second most likely one. Okay, but the unlikely ones I'm not even showing, guys. So let's take a look at the smaller time frame as well. Quick reminder, we've got our Black Friday offer running now. So if you ever thought about joining MCO, maybe as an annual member, you can do so. You can follow the link in the comments section. It takes you to our FAQ page. You get a voucher code here, and then you can go to our membership page. And if you want to join as a gold member, you can do that. You get 20% off on top of the regular annual discount. So it's a discount that's very rare because it really, if we do it, we only do it during the Black Friday week. So check it out. It's valid from now, especially for those of you who ever want to, thought about maybe joining, but never did it. So this is the micro pattern. I mean, micro pattern wise, you see the market is grinding higher. Yeah, I'm tracking this as a possible ABC structure here. This is what we defined for the weekend, right? Remember, on Friday, I defined with you guys a micro support area, which did hold, which is great. So that was our support for the weekend between $2,655 and $2,718. Now, it might very well be that we're forming here wave 5 of C. And then once this is complete, I'm going to watch for a B wave pullback and then a C wave up from there. So we'll get 3 waves up. Then we can define support, yeah. Afterwards, I'm not going to do that now because we don't have a local top, but I will communicate that later today. And this would then be basically the support area for higher prices. Just like this one, just a little larger, because then we have a larger degree pattern already complete, the A wave potentially, yeah. But please understand that as long as the rallies or the movements to the upside here, the bounce, is a choppy and messy 3-wave move, the pattern remains extremely fragile, and I do not see anything impulsive here. So it does indeed look like a 3-wave move. You know how I can recognize that? Well, let's zoom in. Not so much based on this in the beginning, not so much based on the Friday bounce, but clearly based on what we see here. The micro patterns look 3-wave-like, so you might see that actually. Yeah, 3 waves, okay? You could also say this is also a 3-wave move. So that means the move up here from the Saturday low is likely some kind of a diagonal pattern. And only a C wave here in this case could be a diagonal. I don't want to get too technical, but yeah, always try to keep it educational here as well. So that is why I'm tracking primarily an ABC structure. The first resistance area is here. I call that a weak resistance area because essentially if that 4th wave bounce is unfolding that I showed you on the daily chart, we should break it. That's the update on Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, yeah, check out our Black Friday offer. Also today at 5 p.m. UTC, we're running our weekly member live session. If you have an interest in requesting coins, charts, whatever, then feel free to join. You can also ask questions, all sorts of things. It's our community session. See you later. Bye-bye.